Good evening, Mr. Ugahnesh and Mr. Isaac. How are you all both doing?
Good evening, Mr. Darwin. Thank you for calling us today.
Mr. Isaac?
I'm doing fine, thanks, Mr. Darwin. And
Or
thank you very much for calling us over today.
my pleasure, and thank you very much for participating in this interview. All right, so today's interview is in regards of user feedbacks from guys regarding Photopea. So the first question that I would like to ask is Mr. Isaac. In your opinion, is the font style and the font size used in Photopea easy for users to read?
From my experience, yes, it is very easy to read the font size. It's just the perfect size, I think. And the style of the font used is very legible for users as well. From my personal experience of using it, I've had no trouble reading the font of the text from any instructions within the website itself.
I see. All right. That's very good to hear. So it's very easy to read and very uh, legible. All right. So let me pass on to Mr. Ugahnesh. So, Mr. Ugahnesh, uh, in your opinion, was it easy navigating through Photopea in the initial stages of using the website?
In my opinion, yes, Photopea has easy navigation, similar with some famous premium editing software such as Adobe Photoshop, DxO Photolab, and Corel Paint Shop. So, people who familiar with those photo editing software, this website will be more easier for them to navigate.
I see. So it's quite
Yep.
similar to Photoshop, and Photoshop is a paid application. So that's very good, design by Photopea. Okay, so following up with the second question with you, Mr. Yuganesh, um, if you need help, right, using this
Mhm.
tool, is it simple to reach the team from Photopea?
Hmm. I should admit that I do face some problems contacting Photopea community, and it takes longer time than usual to get feedback from them.
I see.
That's all.
Okay. I get. All right. So that's very useful that they have made it quite easy to reach them, and I believe that on their app on the top right they have links to reach them. Okay, so
Mhm.
back to you, Mr. Isaac. So, in terms of the button layouts, do you think the layout of the buttons are well placed and easy for the users to navigate?
Yes, I do think so because most of the buttons, the tools within the site itself, are laid out on the left side, so it's easy for the user to navigate what specific tools they want to use. As well as that, the layers and any editing options is on the right side, so everything is organized just nicely and is really easy to navigate between.
Yeah, see, that's very good to hear. So they have placed their buttons in a strategic location for ease of
Yes.
use for the users. All right. So, following up with that question, Mr. Isaac, what aspect of Photopea website appeals to you?
If I had to choose, I would say it's the template function, the ability for you to select a template that you want to use, which is already a preset design. So this is very useful for me in my work where I have to create Instagram covers or YouTube videos with a background. So I can just take one of those templates and edit it on the flow and be done with it straight away instead of starting from scratch. That, as well as the options to use different sizes of canvases, such as an A4 size, the Instagram size, and so on.
I see. So, Photopea offers flexibility in terms of the templates and the canvas sizing for their users in terms of the design. All right. So that's good to hear. Mr. Yuganesh. So,
Yes.
when using their tool, Photopiece tool, do you
Mhm.
get any responsive feedbacks using the website?
Yes, I do get some responsive feedbacks from the website. For an example, whenever I save my project, it shows me the saving progress and also prompt a window to choose my destination folder to save my project. Yep,
I
that's
see,
all.
that's great. So it's very easy for users to know what they're doing and they are
Mhm.
well aware of what they're doing. So they have responsive feedback. All right, so I'm going to move on to the next section of questions, which is the functions questions, right? In terms of how the function of the website, right? Okay, so Mr. Isaac, Throughout your usage, have you faced any problems using the tools on Photopea?
From what I've seen thus far, I've not seen any problems personally with the tools. It's pretty easy to navigate between, though I will say you do have to have a bit of experience using these kinds of software to understand what the tools do.
I see. So there, in the beginning, there's a bit of a learning curve, but the more you use
Yes,
it, it gets more easier for the user.
yes, but I would
I
say the
see.
learning curve is not something that's a steep learning curve. It's pretty easy even for a beginner. It's just that some of the functions could be better described.
I see. Okay, I get you. All right. Uh, all right. So moving on to Mr. Yuganesh, do you think the website has made the editing process as easy as possible?
Hmm, I would go for a yes because this website helped me a lot in editing photos by giving me access to some professional tools such as lasso tool, gradient tool, and blur tool. These tools help me a lot in my editing process and also make my projects look so professional.
I see, that's very good. So the tool allows you to use the lasso tool, which is easily displayed on the menu bar, and you can use their website quite extensively. I see. All right. So um, moving on, I'd like to ask again, Mr. Yuganesh, in your
Yep.
experience of using Photopea, does the website give you any confirmation for the task that clearly tells you how to fix the problems?
Hmm. Photopea website does give me some user confirmation during editing process. For an example, the website do ask the user for confirmation before executing any task or process which shows me how to fix problems.
I see. So there's a message box that actually lets know the
Yep.
user regarding their task, right? Okay.
Mhm.
All right. So, Mr. Isaac, I'll throw a question back to you. Um, so, do you feel like, do you think that Photopea has the function and capabilities that you expect from it?
The functions and capabilities that I expect from it, I would say yes, but I would say that there's also a few things they could add, maybe a function to export into more file forms. But currently, the functions and capabilities that I've seen so far, such as exporting into a Photoshop document or using a raw image from a camera, it's pretty intuitive, and I would say it's really useful for me if I'm on the go.
I see. So there is a limited number of exports that you can do, right? File formats.
Yes.
I see, I get you. Okay, so another question to you, Mr. Isaac. Do you feel that it's easier to use these tools given by Photopea website compared to the tools offered by Photopea's competitors?
In the case of this question, I will assume the competitor is Photoshop. And in that case, I would say one thing that your competitor does better is for each of the tools that they have, they give a short description on what the tool does as well as a small tutorial on it. So that is definitely something I feel like Photopea could improve upon. But in terms of user friendliness, yes, Photopea is definitely a much friendlier site for using the tools itself.
I see, so it's more beginner friendly, but of course they lack their tutorials, which Adobe has implemented in their software. All right.
Yes.
So, Mr. Yuganesh, our last question for today's interview. Uh, is the
Yep.
information provided by Photopea's website, is it easy to understand?
Yes, the information at the website is very easy and clear to understand, which made my editing process so much easier using Photopea. Yep, that's all.
As I've mentioned earlier, it is very beginners friendly, right? So,
Mhm.
okay. So that ends our Q&A, our interview session for today. So I would like to thank both of you all, Mr. Isaac and Mr. Yuganesh, for your time for today, for this, for participating in this interview. So that is all for this interview, and thank you.
Thank you,
It's our
Darwin.
pleasure. Thank you very much.
My pleasure too.